friends, how are you doing? I had such a great time yesterday getting to talk to you and read with you. It was fantastic. You're doing a really good job. I know this is hard work. I know it's different. It's different for me too, but I know that you're trying your best. I pray you are. I know I'm doing my best, even when it's not exactly what I want to be doing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I hope you had a great time outside. It looks like the next few days are going to be glorious. So let's work hard this morning and get all of our work finished so you guys can go outside and play in the beautiful weather that's coming our way, okay? Now, I took a peek at your day. You don't have that much work for me to do today. So if you'll work really hard and get done what I have planned, if you're missing some work or need to do some things not finished, you can finish that tomorrow. And then you have all day long off tomorrow because we're all out of school again tomorrow. All right, so Bible, trudging on along. You know what you're doing. You're working on your Passion Week eggs. If they're not finished, finish those up for me. And I'd like to have them at school tomorrow if you're through with them. If not, how about next week? No doubt. Okay, that's a deal. History, I forgot your quiz. So you're off the hook. You don't have to do anything for history today. As a matter of fact, you can put your card and your questions in your history notebook for me. Spelling, do everything. Do a good job. If you sit and you focus, it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes. But that means stacking your blocks, thinking about what you're doing. You're not going to go get some water. You're not going to go get some cheese that's out of the pantry. You need to sit and focus on your work. And absolutely, positively no TV. No way. Don't do that. Grammar. You have nothing to do for me in grammar today. You could do some jingles if you wanted to. That'd be fun. Sam and Sally still have those on the YouTube channel. You could practice some jingles. Chapter 5, Questions and Story of the Treasure Seekers. Those won't take long. Maybe 20 minutes? Maybe? If you focus, you could probably do them in 15. Remember, you don't have to keep them in your brain. They don't have to just go, poof, that came out of my brain. Dig through the text and find your answers. Math. I'm getting ready to do the lesson with you right now. That won't take too long. No science this week. Remember, use a little bit of time to study your Timeline Tuesday. Now, don't forget, this week you were supposed to write a letter to Noble. You know what? If you haven't finished that, you can do it this weekend or maybe one afternoon next week. But I know Noble's going to be excited to get your letter, so do that when you have time. Don't forget to read for Miss Francis and do your cursive and your Latin. You can do this. All right, let's look at our math today. Okay, so let's look at number 1, my loves. All right, so it tells us that Amber has 25 cents. That's a number we know, so we can go ahead and write that in. 25 cents. Okay, Billy Joe has 3 times as much money as Amber. So if we took 25 and we multiplied it times 3, this one's fun because go back to when we learned to count by quarters a long time ago. 3 quarters is 75 cents. So Billy Joe has 75 cents. And Catherine has 17 cents more than Amber. So go back to Amber's amount, her 25, and we're going to add that 17 to it. So I know that 25 plus 10 is 35, and 35 plus 7 will give us 42 cents. So now we know how much each girl has. Now, how much money do the girls have all together? Well, let's write this down. 25 cents plus 75 cents plus 42 cents, all right? Okay, so our mental math very quickly on the 75 cents plus 25 cents, that gives us $1 plus 42 cents. All together, they have $1.42, okay? All right, so write these numbers using Roman numerals. All right, I want you to go ahead and write them, or pause me, write them, and then unpause, and we'll check and change, okay? Okay, so I went over here and I got my reminder sheet, okay? Remember where I wrote our main numbers, how I remember those? And then I gave you a sheet in your packet if you need to go and get that. All right, so we're going to remember we want to do 94. Okay, so I know to make, there's not a number for the main number for closest to 90 would be our C. Okay, so I'm going to put I want to do the C, but I need to take 10 away from that. So to show 10 away from that, it's XC to show the 90. And then for the 4, it was the 5, but we have to have a 1 away from that. 5 was V, so to show 1 away from that, to make a 4, we say IV. So XCIV is 94. Okay, now the next one for 257, okay, right, for 100, we write C, so we need 2 of those. So we need C, which equals 200. And then for the 57, we're going to say VII. VII. Okay? Now, for 2,524, all right, I'm going to work backwards. The 4 is going to be IV, okay? All right, for our 20, we're going to put XX. Okay, now this one's tricky. For the 500, we get to put a D. Going back to my chart, remember there was the 500. D is 500. And then for the 2,000, we'll put 1 M is 1,000. So we'll put 2 M's to mean 2,000. Okay, I'll tell you a secret. Those are even hard for me. So be easy on yourself and just practice and know we'll get it together. They aren't easy. Okay, let's do number 3. All right, what are our prime numbers less than 10? That's right, 2, then 3, not 4, because we can do 2 times 2 and we can do 1 times 4, 5, 7, and I almost said 9, but that's 9 won't work because you can do 3 times 3. So there are our prime numbers less than 10. Now, this is a tricky one. The next one, we've never done one like this before. Which of these prime numbers will divide 168 without leaving a remainder? So in other words, if we take 168, which number would we use, the 2, the 3, the 5, or the 7, to go here to divide by? And it cannot have a remainder. Well, I'm looking at that, and it looks like there might be more than one choice. Let's try the 2. Okay, so if we say 16 divided by 2, we know that that is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 take away 16 is 0. Bring this 8 straight down. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract that out and look, there's no remainder. So the 2 will definitely work. Now, do you think the 3 will work? Let's try it. 3. So 100, can you see me? 168 divided by 3. Can 3 go into 16? Yes. How many times without going over? 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 16 take away 15 is 1. Bring your 8 straight down. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. So there's another one. The 3 will work. Okay, now I want you to do the very same thing with the 5 and the 7 and see which one will work. Push pause and check and see. Okay, you should have found out that the 7 would work. 168 divided by 7. Okay, so 7 can go into 16 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. 16 minus 14 is 2. Bring your 8 down. 28 divided by 7 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. A remainder of 0 again. Okay, I'll tell you a secret. The 5 does not work. So here your answer is 2, 3, and 7. Okay, so number 4, boys and girls, is new and it's so fun. I'm so excited we're getting to do this together. Okay, so it tells us to find each sum or difference and then simplify all answers. All right, so look carefully at the first one, and I'm going to write on a little bit bigger piece of paper. So 1 5/16 plus 3 3/16. All right, I wish we were on our big board together because it would be easier, but I want you to look carefully and tell me if you think we can add up these two mixed numbers. If you said yes, you're correct. Now, tell me why we can add them up, and we don't have to do anything except start adding because they have like, dominoes? No, I know. Like dinosaurs? No, I know you know. They have like denominators, okay? The 16 and the 16 are the same. The denominators are the same, so we can just start adding. All right, let's go ahead and add our fractions first. 5 plus 3 is 8. The denominator 16 just slides over. Now add our two whole numbers. 1 plus 3 is 4. All right, so our answer is 4 8/16, but now we need to simplify the 8/16. So I'm looking at that, and immediately what pops in my mind, I know that we can divide 8 by 8 and we can divide 16 by 8. So that's going to reduce to 4 1/2. 4 8/16 is the same as 4 1/2. Good job. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's go across and do a subtraction. I'm going to write it on my paper big. Hang on one second. 5 3/4 minus 1 1/4. Okay, same thing. We have denominators that are the same. The 4s are the same, so we can subtract. So start here and say it with me. 3/4 minus 1/4. Now ask yourself, what is 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is 2. And put your 4 right here. It just slides on over. Now subtract your whole numbers. 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. So now we have 4 2/4, which can reduce. Go ahead and reduce it and see what you get. And then we'll check and change if we need to. Okay, if you said divide by 2, divide by 2, you were correct. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Bring your whole number over, and your answer is 4 1/2. Again, I see a pattern going on here. Okay, let's do another one. All right, the next one says 6 3/4 plus 2 1/2. Ha, I see a problem though. Do you see the same problem I see? Yeah, the denominators are not the same. All right, so remember how we've done these before, boys and girls? All those times we were making our number lines or our line segment dates, and we had to make conversions. That's what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be making a conversion. Okay, now I know that if I multiply a 2 by 2, can become a 4. So we're going to turn this into fourths, okay? We're going to take this half and make it fourths. So in order to make a 4, I have to multiply it by 2. So if I multiplied the denominator times 2, I have to multiply the numerator times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. So this is the very same thing. 2 and 1/2 is equal to 2 and 2/4, right? Now, this mixed number, we're just going to bring it straight down. It stays the same. But because we have converted and we have like denominators now we've set ourselves up that we can add these mixed numbers. Okay, let's start with our fractions because you're going to find something kind of fun happening next. All right, start with your numerator. 3 plus 2 is 5. The denominator slides over. Uh-oh, haha. What do we have? Oh, I wish I could hear you say it because you would go, improper fraction. That's exactly right. We have an improper fraction, and now we need to change that to a mixed number. All right, so how many 4s can I get out of this 5? 1. And how much is left over? 1/4 would be left over. So we have changed the improper fraction now to 1 and 1/4. So I'm just going to kind of mark that out. That's all what happened when we added our two fractions. Now let's add our whole numbers here. 6 plus 2 plus 1, and that will give us 6, 7, 8, 9. And then put your 4th with it. So the final answer is 9 and 1/4. 9 and 1/4. Okay. Let me see if I can find another spot of clean paper here. Excuse me, please. All right, so let's do this really big, hard subtraction one. All right, so we have 3 and 9/16 minus 1 and 1/4. Okay, so take a peek at that. All right, so we don't have like denominators, do we, boys and girls? So we have to make another conversion. So I think we should convert this into 16ths, okay? Now, how would I get a 4 into a 16? I had to multiply 4, right? So do the same thing to your numerator. 1 times 4 is 4. All right, bring your whole number down and then slide the problem over here so you can see what you're doing. And now let's start subtracting. Let's do our fraction first. 9 minus 4 is 5. Slide your denominator over and then subtract your whole numbers. 3 minus 1 is 2, right? There's no way to reduce 5/16. It's in its smallest form. So your final answer is 2 and 5/16. Y'all are so smart. Okay, let's take a look at our next one. All right, we are going to do number 5 now. Okay, I hope y'all can see that okay. Oh, I didn't write my answers in here because they were on a piece of paper. Let me go back and write them real quick if you want me to. Okay, so this one is 4 and 1/2. I should have remembered they were getting the same answer. This one was 4 and 1/2. And this one was 9 and 1/4. And then this one was, where did it go? Yeah, 2 and 5/16. Okay. All right, so at the bottom, this should be a review. It says to write the value of each expression, circle the largest amount. Okay, now remember the tip and trick that I always gave you on this one. I really wish you would do my tip. Let me get a pencil for this one. My tip and trick strategy, because it helps us get the correct answer. Okay, so where it says 40 hundreds. Well, let's see. If I have 40 groups of 100, I'm going to multiply the 4 times 1, and then I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So that's 4,000. So I'm going to write it so I don't have to hold it in my head. 3 tens is 30, and 26 ones is 26. So then I'm going to add that all up. 4,000 plus 30 plus 26. Well, let's put the 26 and 30 together. That gives me 56. And then this is 4,000. So my answer is 4,056. But see how I didn't try to hold all that in my brain? I like to write those notes out. Okay, the next one, 3,000. There's my 3,000. 1700s, that would be like 17 $100 bills. So that's 1700. It has 2 zeros on it and 4 ones. Okay, so now put that all together. That's going to be 3,704. 3,000, oops, except you see what I did? I didn't add that 3 and that 1. It's not 3,000, but it's 4,000. See why you have to be focused and those brains have to be where you can think about what you're doing? Even I make mistakes. Okay, let's look at this one. 4,000, that's easy. 4,000. 53 tens is going to be 530 and 17 ones. Okay? All right, so in the ones place, I'm just going to have my 7. Now go to the tens place. I've got my 3 and my 1, so that's going to be 4. All right, in the hundreds place, I just have the 5. In the thousands place, I have 4. So I have 4,547. Okay, this one, 4,000. 800s is 800. And 47 ones. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to work backwards. There's nothing in this ones place except the 7. Nothing in the tens place except the 4. The only thing in the 800s place is an 8. And the only thing in the thousands place is a 4. So my number is 4,847. Now there was one more direction. Be sure you do all your directions. Circle the largest amount. All right, of all these numbers, okay, so they all are in the 4,000s place. Okay, then this one is no more than 4,000. It's got the 56 on the end, but that looks like it's the smallest. Then the 5 is in the hundreds place, then a 7 in the hundreds place, then 8 in the hundreds place. That is the largest one. So I'm going to circle that. Okay? All right. Now, number 6. Find each sum, product, or quotient. All right, I'm going to do your negative and positive numbers one with you today because they're still a little bit new. So let's look at this one. We have negative 24 plus 10. Okay, so think of being on the number line, and if you started negative 24, but you went positive 10 spaces, you're going to land on negative 14. Okay? All right, negative 18 plus negative 5. Because you have 2 negative numbers, you will end up with a negative number. And now all you have to do is add the 18 plus the 5. 18 plus 5 will give us 23. So your answer is negative 23. Okay, so come down here on this one, the very last one. I always like to pick out my positive numbers first. So let me put a dot above my positive numbers. 8 is positive. 3 is positive. 1 is positive. And 4 is positive. So now I'll add those up. Okay. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Yes. So 11. Plus 1 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So my positive numbers equal 16. Okay, I'm going to underline my negative numbers. Negative 5, negative 2, negative 7, and negative 6. Okay, so now we need to add up those negative numbers. Negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7. A negative 7 plus a negative 7 is 14. And negative 14 plus negative 6, That equals negative 20. So our problem is going to be negative 20 plus 16, right? The negative 20 is the larger of the two numbers. I'm sorry, you couldn't see that. Negative 20 is the larger of the two numbers, so that means it gets to be, this answer is going to be a negative number. But if I'm on negative 20 and I step 16 spaces, I'm going to land on negative 4. So the answer to that one is negative 4. Okay, now, when I tell you to, I want you to pause, and I'm going to put the answers for these two problems down. After you pause, you work them, and then you come back, and if you didn't get them correctly, work them again for me, okay? So push pause. All right, welcome back. You should have pushed pause and work these two problems, and I'm putting your answers down for you. And you can check and change. If you had any trouble with them, you can ask your parents for help. And then if they're not able to help you, you can talk to me. You can call me on the phone and I can help you. Let me see, you know how hard these are to read, boys and girls. Now I'm gonna have to work this one because I can't read it. Okay, so I know that's 8, 0, bring the 1 down. That's 0, bring the 4 down. 4 goes, wait a minute. That's right, so then 12. Right, so this 4 is coming down and 4 goes into 14 3 times 3, so that's 2. And yeah, 23, so that's going to go 5 times. You'll have 3 left over. There's your answer. So 2,035 and 3/4 is a remainder. Okay? All right. Okay, so come over on the back for me. All I want you to do today is work on these. Okay? Now remember, this one, just add. You can add because your denominators are the same. This one you'll subtract because your denominators are the same. These two you're going to have to convert. Convert here to a 16. I'll even give you that helpful hint right now. And make this mixed number, change it into a 4th, okay? Give it your best shot. I know you can do it. All right? Okay. Okay, so I think we did that math lesson all on our own, all right? If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend. I love you with all my heart. Don't give up.